Hi there, this is Pratima Scholl, and
Jeff Scholl.
we're here with A Path to Peace and Marriage. We're talking about the 7 spiritual covenants. We are on number 3. So, number 3 is being in a committed, consciously awakened spiritual relationship creates inner satisfaction in an environment that supports spiritual growth. Each partner deserves to be empowered by a relationship that fulfills their emotional and spiritual needs.
So what does that mean to you?
Well, I think that for me, the word awakened spiritual relationship comes out because certainly that's not typically how people, men, you get with a guy. You don't get with a guy to become awakened spiritually, let me just say. But in a marriage, my first marriage was more about like security and,
Right.
and love and happily ever after or whatever that was. And it just didn't work out. And so I got to then kind of think about what was really important to me. And being on a spiritual journey became really important. And I couldn't be with somebody that wasn't also looking at their own, like, who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing? And so it's nice to have that support in that spiritual growth. And it's tougher. Like, I'm sure, there are relationships where it's just maybe one party doing that, but it is nice to have, because when I'm not being my best, you can kind of help me out, help me to see it.
Right. And that happened with me earlier this year. My daughter and I were having some difficulties in our relationship, and she wasn't, when she would, make a mistake, she wasn't coming across to me with love and kindness, and I certainly wasn't responding to her in kind. And Pratima, because she had stepped into a different kind of space, kind of pulled me aside and told me that I was part of the problem, and that if I would shift, our daughter would probably shift, and she was right, and I knew she was right, and so I started consciously working on my own fear identities, and it's when we talk about a fear identity, what we're talking about there is it's really based on a concept of mirroring. And what that means is that, I'm going to get into metaphysics here for just a moment. Everything is energy. All of the unconscious energies that we have experienced during the course of our lifetime, if we haven't emotionally processed those, we carry those within us. And so what that means is our minds are kind of like a detective. When we have an experience with someone and our energy goes out like a radar and bounces off of them and comes back to us, if we are unconscious to that it's our energy that's gone out and bounced off, we think that, oh, they're the problem. And that's a fear identity of and there may be things, there's subconscious beliefs, and I'll give you the most common one is I'm not good enough. And that's certainly been mine. And I saw that reflected in my relationships. I saw that reflected with my daughter as I'm not a good enough father. I saw it reflected at my work. I'm not a good enough employee. It all came back to I'm not good enough. And if you constantly seek another job and another partner or sink into depression or whatever, you're missing the opportunity to heal there. It is an opportunity to look at that belief and heal that, so that you stop seeing that reflection back to you, right? And so that's an example of a core fear identity. And I've worked with dozens of clients that really have the same, probably the same 10 or 15 core fear identities that they're working to heal in this lifetime. So that's a concept called mirroring, that your partner or your world, the people in your world, reflect back to you the things that you most need to heal.
Yeah. And, one thing that I did want to point out, because we have done a lot of work growth-wise, was through the course of spiritual self-mastery, is a journey home to yourself, because these covenants come from Hugh's work,
Right.
that we both had the privilege of being coached by Hugh,
Right.
and very grateful to his kind of tough love with us.
Yeah, it's so yeah, we didn't develop the seven spiritual covenants. Hugh Del Canto developed these, and I'm a certified spiritual life coach through his organization, and so I'm authorized to teach these. We're authorized to teach these in the way, in our own unique way, but we're applying the wisdom that he collected over the course of 25 years, and all these clinically proven exercises, and we have been working to apply these in our lives for the last 16 years. And it's one of the points that Pratima made to me in our before we started recording today was that this is a journey that never ends. This is an ongoing journey, and we are constantly going to be working on our relationship. I'll say that it's easier this year than it's been in many years.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks.